All right, thanks, guys. We went 5-2 yesterday in our premium selections on patreon.com/Brock Page. That's going to improve our record to 6-1 in our last 7 board member package plays on that website. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season. You can find all that information in the link below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. Now, we got ourselves a nice slate of NBA action, so let's go ahead and get into it. Beginning with the Celtics taking on the Spurs, 5 o'clock Eastern tip-off in San Antonio. The Spurs are -1, totals at 216.5. We saw a 1-point fade of San Antonio at home and movement upward on the total. The Spurs open -2, down to -1. Total open 215.5, up to 216 and a hook. 55% are leaning Celtics, 51% shaded toward the over. Right now, Boston is plus 101 on the money line. Now, keep in mind, Enes Kanter is out for the Celtics tonight. But regardless, they are 6-1 straight up on the year, 5-2 against the spread. They're actually right in the middle of a 6-game winning streak, 6-0 straight up in their last 6, 5-1 against a number in those 6 games. They're covering 75% of their games away from home. They're led by Kemba Walker, who's scoring 24 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Jason Tatum, 22 points a game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists for him. And of course, Gordon Hayward is dropping 20 a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. So once again, Gordon Hayward, 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Boston ranks in the top 10 in offensive rebounding, top 5 in points allowed, top 10 in offensive field goal percentage. Now the Spurs on the other side, losers in 2 out of their last 3. They've also failed to cover in 6 out of their 8 games overall for the season. They rank in the bottom 10 in offensive three-point percentage. They're also 20th in defensive field goal percentage. Now total-wise, San Antonio is 5-3 to the over for the season. They're also 80% to the over at home. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Boston +1 and the over 216.5 in that game. Next matchup, Pelicans. Hornets, 7 o'clock, Charlotte. The Pels are -1.5 on the road. Totals at 232 and a hook. We saw a 0.5 point move toward the Pelicans. Movement upward on the total as well. New Orleans open 1, up to 1.5. Total open 230.5, up to 232 and a hook. 57% are leaning Pelicans. 60% shaded toward the under. Right now, Charlotte's plus 104 on the money line. Now, if you like Charlotte in this matchup here, they've won 3 out of their last 4 games. They're also 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. They're led by Devontae Graham, who's scoring 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Terry Rozier right behind him, averaging 15 a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And Big Cody Zeller is averaging double-digit rebounds, 10 rebounds a game for Cody. Charlotte is ranking in the top 10 in offensive three-point percentage. They're also 10-4 against the spread in their last 14 as the underdog, dating back to last season. Now the Pelicans on the other side, 3-game losing streak for them. They're just 1-7 straight up overall for the year, 2-6 against the spread in those 8 games. They rank in the bottom 3 in points allowed, bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. Redick and Ball are listed as questionable for tonight's action. And of course, Zion is still out indefinitely. Total-wise, New Orleans, 6-2 to the over on the season, 75% to the over on the road. I'm going to purchase the 0.5 point, buy it up, and take Charlotte +2 and the over 232.5 in that game. Next matchup, Warriors, Thunder, 8 o'clock OKC. Thunder are -12, totals at 220. Sorry about that. Thunder, -12, totals at 220. We saw a 0.5 point move toward OKC and a 4-point move downward on the total. The Thunder opened 11.5 up to -12. Total open 224 down to 220. 65% are leaning Warriors, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now, Golden State's +600 on the money line. Curry, Thompson, Green, Looney, and Smologic all out for the Warriors. Golden State's just 2-7 on the year, 3-6 against the number. They rank in the bottom 5 in field goal percentage, bottom 5 in points allowed. Thunder on the other side, winners in 2 out of their last 3. They're also 5-3 against the spread overall for the season. They're led by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 22 points a game, 6 rebounds. Danilo Gallinari, 19 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. And Big Steven Adams, he's averaging 11 rebounds per game. OKC's 3-2 straight up at home, 3-2 against the spread in that same category. They're in the top 10 in three-point percentage, top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, OKC is 6-2 to the under overall for the year. They're also 5-0 to the under at home. I'm going to lean to the heavy home favorite. Give me the Thunder, minus 12. And the under 220 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Saturday's NBA action. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 5-2 yesterday in our premium selections to kick off the weekend. That's going to improve our record to 6-1 in our last 7 board member package plays. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season. We do daily plays on that site. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to beginning at just $1.99 per month. You can also access my current record for free right on the homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. And people always ask me, what's the difference between Patreon and YouTube? Well, what we do here on YouTube is we handicap and formulate an opinion on every single game on the slate, both a side and a total. Well, if you were to bet that way, there is 100% absolutely no way you can make money. The books are too good. The math is against you. You can't place a bet on every single game, the side and the total, and win. You can't do it. You can't beat math. Math is undefeated. What we do on Patreon is we focus and dial it in on 3 to 4 premium selections. They're personal plays that I personally have action on, and we really just focus in on a smaller sample of plays for the day. And I'll tell you this much, my record speaks for itself. My record on Patreon is a whole lot better than my record on YouTube. So anyway, that's the big difference. That's a big question I always get. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, we got ourselves 2 more games here in the NBA, so let's go ahead and get to them. Next matchup is going to be the Rockets taking on the Bulls, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Chicago. The Rockets are minus 6.5 on the road, total 233 and a hook. We saw a half a point move toward Houston, moving upward on the total as well. The Rockets opened 6, up to 6.5, total opened 230, all the way up to 233 and a hook. 69% of the consensus are leaning toward Houston, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Bulls are plus 215 on the money line. Now, Chicago's just 3-6 straight up on the year, 4-5 against the number. They've dropped 2 out of their 3 games at home, and they've dropped 5 out of their last 7 ball games played at any location. No surprise here, Otto Porter, he's hurt again. He's out indefinitely. Chicago ranks in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding, bottom 3 in defensive rebounding. Houston on the other side, 2-0 straight up and against the spread in their last couple of games. They're also 5-3 straight up overall for the year. They're tied for first place in the Southwest Division. James Harden, man, what can you say about him? He's averaging 37 a game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Russell Westbrook, 21 a game, 10 rebounds, 9 assists for him. Clint Capella, he's averaging double-digit rebounds as well. Houston ranks in the top 3 in scoring, top 10 in free throw percentage. When it comes to the total, Chicago on the other side, 60% to the over in their last 5. 2-1 to the over at home. I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Houston minus 6 and the over 233.5 in that game. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Mavs taking on the Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Memphis. The Mavs are minus 4.5 on the road, totals at 218 and a hook. We saw a 1-point fade of Dallas and movement downward on the total. The Mavs open 5.5 down the minus 4.5, totals 218.5 after it did open up at 219. Right now, Memphis is plus 155 on the money line. The Mavs have won their last 3 straight on the road. They're also 3-0 against the spread in that same category. They're tied for first place in the Southwest Division. They rank in the top 5 in offensive rebounding. They also rank in the top 5 in road scoring. Luka Doncic, 28 points a game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists he is averaging. Also, Kristaps Porzingis, 20 points a game, 8 rebounds for him. Now the Grizzlies on the other side, losers in 4 out of their last 5. They're just 2-6 against the spread overall for the season, and they rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed on average per game. Now total-wise, Dallas is 6-2 to the over for the season, 3-0 to the over on the road. I'm going to purchase the hook, slide it down, and take Dallas -4 in the over 218.5 in that game. All right, guys, let's go ahead and slide into our quick pick recap, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. I like Houston -6 over 233.5, OKC -12 under 220, Dallas -4 over 218.5, Charlotte +2 over 232 and a hook, and last but certainly not least, I like Boston +1 in the over 216.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs, once again brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Urania Jimenez, Trevor123, Stevie Puz Powers, Lane Eternal Master. Shout out to Vernon Williard, Irek, Bo Dunn, Ronnie Christie, Nathan Woosley, Shotgun Shell 80. Shout out to the Nell God 206, Ulysses Hayes, Mike Wilkerson, Tan Win, Evil Dax, Wilson Cardonia, Compton Drive-By, Charles, shout out to Charles, shout out to Wayne Mabson, J Money, 335 IAO NBA, shout out to Mike Evans, author, and last but not least, shout out to Pedro Teixeira. All right, guys, let's go ahead and try out the quick pick recap, edición en español. Yo tengo Houston -6 y arriba la línea. I don't know how to say this. OKC, Oklahoma City. -12. OKC, -12 y abajo la línea. Dallas, -4 y arriba la línea. Charlotte con puntos y arriba la línea. Y final, Boston con puntos y arriba la línea. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 5-2 yesterday in our premium selections. It's going to improve our record to 6-1 in our last 7 board member package plays. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season. We do daily plays on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. You can also access my current record for free right on the homepage. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. Now, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between Patreon and YouTube? Well, basically what we do on YouTube is we handicap every single game on the board. We formulate an opinion on both the side and the total on every game on the board. We make a pick on every single game. Well, I'll tell you what, if you do that in real life, you will lose every single time. There's no chance that you can make money. The books are too good, and the math is always going to be against you. So what we do on Patreon is we really focus up and dial in on 3 to 4 premium selections a day. They're personal plays that I personally have action on, and I'll tell you this much. My record on Patreon is a lot better than my record on YouTube, so I'll leave it at that. But anyway, link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I gotta thank you for watching me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.